Chevron signed a 20-year deal with Microsoft. Welcome to Business News at 9. Happy Monday, folks. I hope you guys had a great weekend. I am Miguel Mike Medina. So, Chevron Corporation, they signed a 20-year deal with Microsoft to provide natural gas-fired power. Project Kilby is expected to provide first power by 2028, according to Bloomberg News. SNAP purchase restrictions are now approved in 23 states, affecting about one-third of recipients and reducing food and beverage sales by up to 830 million this year. Iowa became the first state to use the phrase "Make America Healthy Again." Now, here's an interview that I had a privilege to speak to this person who has over 10 years of experience as a CPA. She's also an owner. Check out this interview. I hope you guys enjoy it. Ladies and gentlemen, it is a great honor to present to you Allyse Carter. Allyse, thank you for joining Business News at 9. How are you, madam?
Thank you for having me. I am well. I am well.
So I want to start from the beginning. So when did you know that you wanted to get into this profession, to get a CPA? Is this always something you always imagined, or there was something else before that?
Probably before that, I probably wanted to be a rapper or something, but so how like I became an accountant. So in college, I took accounting 101. You have to take all the baseline business classes. I took accounting 101 one summer and uh I got an A. It was like me and maybe like five other people in the class got an A, and everybody else was struggling. And I was like, how are y'all struggling? This is so like, I get it. I get it. So when I realized that I was getting something other people were not getting, it's like, maybe this is a path I should go down, right? Because I know something they don't know, but it came easy to me, right? So that was my start. Before then, it's like I didn't know what a CPA was, right? Like, what's a CPA? Didn't find out about that until college, right? Once you're like, well, what you gonna do? What are the certifications in this path, right? And you realize a CPA is a certification. That's the only accounting certification. And so you know, uh, did undergrad at Florida State. And then I did my master's at Florida Atlantic. And I was working on the CPA exam during that time. Um, if my whole thing is like whatever industry career you take is you get the things that define that industry, right? Like so, if I was doing something else, it'd be whatever certification it is for that, right? I would say my next career, I'm gonna be like a HVAC plumber, right? Because they make lots of money. So I might, I might do that. I'm not gonna do it, but get the certification in it and get other people to do it, right? So, but I digress. But that's how I got into so I got into it.
What is the most misunderstood aspect of a CPA's job that you constantly have to find yourself explaining to people?
People think we deal with numbers. We deal with people. The numbers are after, like, that's you only get these numbers because of the people. So if you don't understand the person or you just overlook what the qualitative aspects of how the numbers are generated, you miss the entire story. Um, And so, like, a lot of my time is spent like talking people off the ledge, right? Or helping, making something complex, turning a complex idea simple, making it simple for them to understand, right? Or why. Sometimes they don't know why. It's not their job to know why. It's our job as the accountant to explain why something's happening, right? And try to explain it without the jargon, without the tax jargon, without the accounting jargon. Um, that's like what we do a lot of times. You got the people in the back and on the Excel sheet, but with all the technology, a lot of that's going away, right? The new Claude came out this weekend that they shut down, right? And it's like the AI can prepare tax returns now and do all these things. So we accountants really aren't like dealing with numbers. We're dealing with people, period, all the time. And that is one of the biggest misconceptions about CPAs, about accountants. Like, we're just in some hole, we're a 10 key and, divisor, and we're in here, that's, there's aspects of it that can be like that, but that is not most of it. So that's try to explain that to people. They think my job is boring. It's like, well, you come do it. You would not make it.
I mean, I can only imagine what you have gone through, especially these 10 years, in this field. So, and that leads me to the following. What are the most common red flags that you see people make with their personal or business finances?
Ooh, red flags. A lot for businesses, especially small businesses, is record keeping. Um, the bookkeeping aspect. And a lot of small businesses, they don't want to pay for it. They get their mommy to do it, or their aunt to do it. Their sister is the bookkeeper, right? Um, because they think it's administrative, right? People think bookkeeping is being administrative. When that is the basis of all of your financials. So if you have you trust your sister and your mama and your auntie with the basis of all your business decisions, right? And that's no knock to those people, but that's the foundation, right? So whoever you have or whatever systems you have for that basic foundational uh financial data collection, that is that's actually the business, right? People think the business is the thing that they're doing, right? People, you're a roofing contractor. You think the business is me hopping up there hammering on roofs, right? Um, that's actually not it, right? That's part of it. That is the deliverable aspect, because obviously, if you don't hop up there and fix the people roof, you don't get paid, right? But the business part of it is all the systems behind it. Because those same people, you can be the best roofing contractor. And when you fall off the roof and break your leg, right? And you can't hop up there. And now you all of a sudden you gotta sell your business. What are the systems behind it? If you got systems behind it, you can go sell it. You probably can go sell it before you fall off the roof, right? Um, if you don't, that's it. Like that's literally like that is the difference. The difference between, more, I wouldn't even argue successful. They're not even good a lot of times. But you have businesses that they get the foundation right, they get their systems right. And so whatever the product is, whatever the deliverable is, that's what it is. But having that is what makes it's what makes it's what makes your business saleable at one like later on versus you just working. It's not the and I it's like it sounds so absurd because it's like I'm selling whatever like I'm selling tax returns. I'm a tax accountant, right? And I run a small it's I'm a solo practitioner, right? So I'm a great example. If I had stopped today, there's nothing else, right? That's it. Right. Then once I build out the firm, hopefully I'm not even the one doing any of this work, right? And I have the systems in place. So number one, I'm not doing the tax return. But number two, one day I can sell it, right? Otherwise, if I'm still doing all the things and I don't have systems in place and I have crappy financials, what's my valuation? Like that, the financials determine your valuation. You want mommy and sister and auntie determining your business valuation, right? So it's like that is the thing I think a lot of people they don't value it until it's too late because it's such a it's an expense, right? It can't nobody likes accounting. I'm in a profession like everybody hate. Like the AI could go do the accounting. Right. They would love to get rid of it. And I get it. I understand, right? Um, but having good financials and good record keeping is the beginning of any good business foundation. And more businesses. And then you're not in the business of accounting like I am, right? You're in the business of whatever you're selling. So why would you do something that you aren't good at, right? You should, I don't call a roofer. I'm not getting on the roof to patch up the roof. I'm calling the roofing contractor, right? I'm calling the HVAC guy to fix my AC. Why would you have somebody who does not know the foundation working in that position, right? Like, would you just go get, you don't want me pouring the concrete for your high-rise condo in Miami, I promise you, right? You don't want me pouring that foundation, right? So I think it's how people value the work. It's how they value accounting and bookkeeping. And that is one of the biggest mistakes and misconceptions. Business owners as well as individuals, they have, and a lot of times they call us, after everything's broken. Right. I usually get a call after the fact. Like usually not before, usually when it's a mess. Then I was like, oh yeah, maybe I should have called you sooner. It's like maybe, right? Then maybe we should have had the foundation set earlier. It's like maybe, right? So it's just if you can get like professional help early, do that. Right. Get the foundation set early. Get people who know what they're doing in there early. You know, don't treat it as purely administrative. Don't treat your accounting or your tax as purely administrative. Because I promise you, the rich people don't. They have a team of accountants and attorneys and right. Elon Musk didn't become a trillionaire because his mommy was doing his bookkeeping. Right. You know what I mean? So it's because, you know, he played all the things. And I ain't saying I'm a huge fan of the guy, but he's an example of like everything's paper. Everything's paper. Yeah, not it's not even the end product. What end product I own an Elon Musk? I don't own a Tesla. I don't have the Starlink, right? I have none of that. I don't own nothing that it's all paper. And I think once folks understand that, they'd appreciate it more.
I want to ask you about Daytrack, which you're the founder and CEO. What was the motivation to start that company?
So Daytrax is it's a tax application idea. It's on the Google Play Store. But I get the idea because um I used to work with athletes earlier in the tag space. And currently I do still work with athletes. And I had the idea because athletes do a lot of traveling. And come tax time, we have to do this allocation, this income allocation. And so I was like, man, if I had some of this information sooner, right? Like when it happened or like around when it happened, I could project out like what this client's gonna owe, right? Versus April 11th, everybody sends me information, and then it's like, ah, yeah, you owe the state of Massachusetts, right? And it's like, what? Because you played a game in Massachusetts, and now you owe the state of Massachusetts. And so, Daytrax is this app that helps keep track of that, right? And tries to, estimate out tax liability, keep track of where your, clients have been. You don't want to get all big brother necessarily, but, the idea is that your business travel affects your tax liability. And the better you can keep track of that, the better you can uh kind of support residency, right? Tax residency. You say I live in Florida. I promise I live in Florida, but you're in New York all the time, and New York's the worst, right? New York track you down all the time, right? And so helping clients keep track of really where they've been and how their tax liability can be affected by that.
All right, at least we're gonna play a game. So something very simple. So you ready?
I listen, I'm as ready as I'm gonna be.
All right. Favorite athlete that you've worked with?
Can I even say that?
You want to change it? You
Favorite.
plead the fifth?
Favorite athlete. Because I don't want to name drop because it's been a while. For the pro guys, it's been a while. Currently I have a few college athletes, so I'm not gonna name drop
All
necessarily.
right.
But I can say
What about their game? What about their game? You could mention.
so I can tell you,
Give me three at least.
I can tell you. So when I was working with pro athletes, like really heavy, this is like 14 years ago now, or 13 years ago. There was a player who had since retired, but he was a rookie at the time for the St. Louis Rams. And he was there when the Rams moved to Los Angeles. And um but he's since retired. I remember working on his tax return. some years ago. So, and there's like speculation on if he's gonna come back now that they have Miles Garrett. So I'll leave it there. Um, so I remember working on his tax return. You know, the fun thing about working on uh like NFL players, and NHL players, NBA players on their tax returns is that they get W-2s just like the rest of us. And so, you know, they get a paycheck every 2 weeks during their season. And the numbers are really big, right? But they had like the same problems the rest of us do. And it's really, I wouldn't say funny, but it's just that's like one of those commonalities, right? Amongst everyone. It doesn't matter how little or how much you're making. It's like every 2 weeks I'm getting paid. And they're taking out all these taxes. And I gotta do this and I gotta show up to work at 8 a.m. And you know, like it's really it's like it doesn't matter what you do, right? The concept remains the same in a lot of ways. The numbers might be a little bit bigger, but the situations are very similar. And, you know, in the end, it's all they're people too. Right. They're just people. They might be able to run fast, but they're people too.
Favorite breakfast meal?
Ooh, that might be slightly country. I'm a like eggs, grits, corned beef hash. And the canned corned beef hash. You know, you check it in the pan, you fry it up, get all the grease out.
Favorite restaurant in Florida?
I'm a sushi fan. So I it's a restaurant in downtown West Palm called Kabuki. It's a sushi Japanese spot. Uh, That's yeah.
Top three travel destinations that you want to cross off your bucket list.
Bucket list. Tokyo. I wouldn't mind going to Tokyo. Tokyo is like the biggest city on the planet, right?
Hmm.
Um, I wouldn't mind doing like Egypt, so I can go see the pyramids. That'd be nice. Um, bucket list. That's two, three, a third place. You know, I don't necessarily know. Third place. It might be like Kenya or something. I wouldn't mind like going there. You know, it's like on that side of the planet, right?
Hmm.
I've been to Europe. I don't necessarily like need to go see them again. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Let's go a little further on the other side of the planet.
I mean, there's so many countries, so many places. So,
It's
I mean,
it's
hey,
a lot. Listen, I
it's a lot.
haven't even been to all the 50 states. So it's like
Same here. Mhm.
maybe I should do that first. It's places in Florida I haven't been in. It's so much just in my state and in my region that I could probably like I should do that. But like bucket list, like I would like to do that before I die. Yeah. Tokyo, the pyramids, somewhere in East Africa.
If you could trade places with someone for one day, who would it be?
Do I want to trade places with people? You know, I don't even like it without being all like getting all heady and cerebral, right? Getting all philosophical, right? Would I even want to be somebody else? You know what I mean? Can I hang out with them for a day? Sure. Do I want to be them for a day? No.
So, in terms of hanging out, who would it be?
Oh my gosh, who would it be? arguably it'd probably be like Michelle Obama or somebody. If I can hang out with somebody for a day. That would be it. I would say Beyonce, but yeah, no. And I like Beyonce. But I don't think I'd want to hang out with her for a day. I can hang out with Michelle Obama for a day.
All right, so we'll go with that one then. Last but not least, and this one is the money one for the game. Name me five people, dead or alive, that you would like to sit down and have a conversation with.
Ooh, dead or alive that I would like to have a conversation
And
with.
it could be anybody, not just, it doesn't have to be just public figures, but anybody, even family members that are no longer around.
Yeah,
Anybody.
anybody. Anybody. I would probably want to talk to George Washington. Because I'm gonna be like, is this what you fought for, boss? So he'd be somebody I wouldn't mind talking to, even though you could get him. I won't go there. But he'd be a interesting person. So I would definitely like to talk to him. Um who else would I like to talk to? Like I said, Michelle Obama's on there. I wouldn't mind like hanging out with her for a day. So I'd check her on the list too. Her and Barack. So they're one person. So three uh probably like some of the early like black CPAs, right? There's some black CPAs who kind of paid the way, right? When you couldn't be, you couldn't even take the test, right? Because the color of their skin. I checked them on the list. I think it's Mary T. Washington. So I would check her on the list too. Um, who else? So that's like you got three, you got four. I'm a Beyonce fan. We're checking Beyonce on the list. So Beyonce's four. And I'd probably want to talk to my grandma again.
Nice, nice.
And so that'd be my fifth person. So I think that's kind of well-rounded. I think that's a well-rounded top top five.
Yeah, it is.
That's a
I love the fact that you mentioned George Washington. That's
mm.
a great one. That's a
He's
great one.
a, he's
That's a great one.
actually number one on my list. He's been
Yeah.
number one on my list. Dead or alive people I would love to talk to for a long time. And I know it's like, but why though? It's like this what you was fighting for, boss. So that's just to be like, this is the state of the country. Is this what you were fighting for? Right? Because like we're gonna take it all the way back. Like you could get into like the Martin Luther Kings and the is this what you were fighting for? This is so like that's where I am.
Now that's a good list, Elise. That's a good list. So this is my final question to you. Where can we follow you and your work? We have some people out there that they want to get into this field, this accounting, and this interview is great for them because we've seen the emergence of AI and how things can change and implement. So where can we follow you and your work? Because I know that there's gonna be some people that they're gonna want to know more about you, about the ins and outs of CPAs, accounting, etc. So where can we follow you?
I'm on LinkedIn. That is the best way to follow me. I wish I had more professional social media accounts, but you can follow me on LinkedIn. I'm active. You can message me on LinkedIn. That's probably one of the best ways to get a hold of me. Um, and all of my information is there, I think. So I definitely would love to, if anyone wants to connect, I am always meeting new people on LinkedIn. It's a great place to network. It's a great place to market. I mean, I literally had a call with somebody last week he reached out to me and I was like, well, you want to do a call now, right? Yeah, like I got a few minutes now. And sure enough, I had a chance to talk to him. We talked for like 20, 30 minutes. And like I'm that person. Like because you have to, like, to me, you have to be, right? If you want friends, you gotta show yourself friendly, right? And so and you gotta be valuable, you gotta be useful. And in this age of AI, with the robots taking over and being our overlord soon, you have to be even more human, right? You have to come behind the screens, right? Pick up the phone, right? People don't they don't pick up the phone, they don't call, right? Call people on the phone. You don't have to do a Zoom all the time. Just call people, right? Um, I'm a texter, unfortunately, in my private life, right? But business, call people, right? Like be that person, stay in touch with folks. Um, I'm pretty easy to get a hold of. I don't know if that's good or bad, but you gotta stay in touch with folks, man, because the reality is all you have is your relationships. And so you always gotta keep building them. And you have to maintain them. And you have to you know, that's it. Like that's I wish you got all of your success because like you were great at what you do. Like, that's part of it. And that might be this much of it. The rest of it is like you're good and somebody put you on. Because if you're good and nobody put you on, right? So it's relationships and everything. And I'm always here for new ones.
Excellent advice. Thank you for sharing information, Allyse, and thank you once again for joining Business News at 9 and provide all this knowledge, all this wisdom that you share with us. Thank you. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep being a ferocious leader and keep climbing. As long as we keep our put our foot never take our foot off the gas. That's the way to go. And yeah,
Yeah.
you're right. Connecting, if we don't connect with other humans, then it's just there's just no going forward from that. But thank you, Allyse, so much for doing this.
All right, thank you.
Thank you for tuning in to Business News at 9. Hopefully, you guys enjoy this content. Enjoy the rest of your day, guys. Be safe. And may God bless each and every one of you. Take care.